Always, always, always check your mail. Don't let, like, a week or two go by without checking your mail. That might be common sense for most people, but if one person, me, was capable of making this mistake, maybe out of the zillions of people in this world, somebody else is capable of making this mistake. And if I can save even one person from going through what I just did, I'm not going to post this until the situation is completely resolved. Well, when I say completely resolved, I mean I have contacted someone officially and gotten an answer, and I know that things are okay. As of right now, the event is still, well, the event, I don't know if you'd call this an event. The situation is still kind of unfolding. I expect it's going to be nothing more than a scare, but could I have avoided it? Well, maybe. I don't know if I could have avoided it. I still think if it showed up in that stack of mail, it was late out the box. Out the mailbox, out the box from the post office. But I could have responded to it at least a few days sooner if I would have intercepted it sooner and or gone through it sooner. You might figure all anyone gets anymore is junk mail and bills that we already know about. We don't need to deal with checking mail. Actually, that's not necessarily a safe assumption, because there might be something really important, like time sensitive, and if you don't respond to it at a certain time, there could be consequences. You might be going, Anne, what in the world are you talking about? Well, I'll just tell you the story. So, obviously, it's not necessarily uncommon for people to want to get out of jury duty. And if you're like me, because of the fact that you don't have spontaneous transportation to and from the courthouse, like spontaneous as in, well, the trial just ended, so, we didn't know what time the trial was going to end, so we couldn't set up pre-planned transportation. Or, yeah, this deliberation has taken forever and a decade. I have no idea when the hell we'll get done. With that kind of situation, you kind of need the liberty of not having to pre-plan your transportation, which I don't have. Between that and the fact that I cannot read print or intercept anything from a visual standpoint, my inclination is to try to get out of it. Well, I can't even try to get out of it if I don't know I'm expected to report. And I can't know I'm expected to report if I don't have the printed paper that says you're supposed to report at this time and at this place read to me. And I can't have the paper even read to me in a timely manner if it doesn't show up until a month after. At least, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I mean, I can't prove that. And I don't even know that for sure. I mean, is it possible that it could have shown up on time and I somehow it got lost in the rest of the mail because I didn't look at it in a timely manner? By look at it, I mean open it and call Aira, my beloved virtual assistant service, visual interpreter service, and say, read this paper to me, read this envelope. Who is it from? Who is it addressed to? Oh, it is to me. County court. Okay. When am I supposed to appear? How long do I have to try to get out of it? And if I can't get out of it, then I'll find a way to show up and hope that they'll excuse me at that point. But, and long term, I'll try to get out of it as much as possible. If in the long run I don't, for God's sake, I'll just serve the best I can. it's your civic duty, and if at some point disability is considered not a reason to get out of it, then you just know that you tried, and then you do the best you can. But the point is, you can't respond to a summons you don't know exists. And I just found out yesterday that this existed, but she read the date. I'm like, wait a minute. What? What month did they say I was supposed to? I'm like literally 5 weeks late. I kind of got worried. I was like, okay, what happens when you just don't respond to jury duty? What? It's one thing to like try to get out of it, show up and try to get out of it. I didn't even do that. I didn't show up. I didn't ask for an excuse. I didn't do anything. I just didn't know this was something I was supposed to do and didn't respond to it whatsoever. Well, of course, if you look something up several times, you might find several different answers on the internet. It might also depend on how you search. You might word it one way and get one result. You might word it another way and get another result. You might word it a third way and get yet a third result of equal or more or less value or assistance. Well, the first thing we saw was that if you don't show up for jury duty, you could have a warrant out for your arrest. I'm like, yeah, I had thought that might happen. I hope it hasn't happened. It wasn't exactly a sleepless night last night, but I was kind of wondering, okay, what am I mean, do they have a warrant out for my, I mean, I would, if I was taken into custody, I would cooperate and I would, say, yeah, I acknowledge that this happened. Here's my defense. I don't know if anyone cares to hear it, but here's what I have to say. If you do something wrong, whether you intended to or not, you just acknowledge that you did it. Honesty is the best policy. Well, here I am thinking about all this stuff, and then, well, first of all, that internet search yielded an email address that apparently didn't even freaking exist, because I sent an email to that address twice, trying to reach out to the courthouse to let them know what had happened. Obviously, it was a Friday night. No one's going to get back to me until Monday, but the auto-generated whatever spat the thing back at me twice. Message undeliverable. I'm like, what the hell? So we looked again. I had them look at the form again. We looked again. Hold that thought. So we looked again at the form. I'm not sure if we just went back to Google or if there was a website on the form or what. But this time we got a more factual, I guess we got to the right spot on the website, a more factual part of that website. I don't know, but we got a different email address that I tried to reach out to. We'd been to this website twice. We got two different email addresses. The first time, we got an email address that I tried sending a message to twice, came back as undeliverable. The second time, we got a separate email address. I tried sending something to that. As expected, I still haven't heard anything back. It's Saturday. No one's going to get back to me until Monday. But what else did not happen was that stupid computer saying undeliverable. That landed in someone's inbox, and hopefully they get back to me. And whether they do or not, I'll probably call. The first time, it said to call a number in a different area code than the one that I live in, or even the other one. People who live in my area have two separate area codes. I'm familiar with the one that was on the first number, but I am not sure that that's... I'm not convinced that's not in another area. Like maybe nearby, but not this area. The second time we went to this website, or with the second search, we found numbers that I'm more familiar with, meaning, yeah, that's one of the 2 area codes that I'm familiar with in this area. So I actually got a couple of numbers. I wrote them down. I'll probably call both of them next week. One is the jury office themselves. The other is to an ADA coordinator. And I want to call that person and say, is there anything you can do to help me arrange to have either Braille documentation or at the very least emailed documentation in the future, so that next time you guys summon me, I'll know about it as early as possible. First of all, if you email it to me, I can hit a button on the computer and listen to it for myself immediately right then, as opposed to opening another piece of printed paper and having somebody read it to me. It's 2021. It's almost 2022. Why is everything coming in printed paper format? Because no one knows I need better, but I'm able to get better. Blind people are able to request things electronically or brailled. I'm going to start taking advantage of that. The fact that I didn't find out that I was supposed to report until a month afterward just left me pretty disturbed. And I mean, I was kind of upset because I don't usually sleep on responsibilities like that. I'm like, if I gotta take care of something, I try to take care of it, stay on top of stuff. But this morning I looked up, I think I literally wrote, what happens if you don't show up for jury duty. And again, after looking at a couple of different results, I found really actually quite an informative article about, here's what you need to know about missing jury duty. And it's probably not the big deal that I think it is. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not as severe as I thought it was. It's the first time this has happened. And the whole warrant out for your arrest, that's probably not going to happen. What's probably going to happen is, worst case scenario, I may end up facing a fine, but that's probably not even going to happen. What's probably going to happen is I'm going to get another summons in February or March saying, here's a new date that you need to show up, and we told you to do this earlier and you didn't. Do it this time or else we will fine you. And it's not going to come to that, because that time I'll either, like I said, get excused or find a way to get there and be there and just let the process start. But it starts next week with me calling and taking responsibility. It already started last night with me emailing somebody, because again, that message has not been spat back to me, so it's gone to someone. It started with me reaching out electronically. I'm going to reach out by phone next week. The easy way to do it would be to wait until Friday when I was off work and call them from home. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably going to find a time like Monday or Tuesday, whether it's from home after work or during my break, or if I get there at 8:30 and I'm not supposed to start till 9, I might try calling them at 8:30 or something. Well, it's Tuesday, and I should be calling that jury office right now, but I just don't feel like it. It's 10 to 3. I literally just got home from work. And, I do feel a little bit more validated now, because I was telling a coworker about this, and she's like, that does not surprise me that you get a jury summons a month after you were supposed to show up. The same thing happened to me. What happened to her wasn't involving a jury summons, but it was involving important mail that didn't show up until a month after the freaking fact. What is going on? Is there a national mail screw up right now? I mean, I laugh, but it's really not funny. Things are getting screwed up because people have deadlines and they're informed about their deadlines in the mail, and then the information doesn't come in until a month after their deadlines. That's screwed up. Anyway, to hear that makes me feel a lot better about the idea that it probably was in fact in that stack of mail, and the stupid thing was 3 weeks late. I'll just say, I now know that I was supposed to report for jury duty a month ago. I'm sorry I didn't. I hope I'm not in any kind of trouble, but the thing didn't show up in the mail until a month after I was supposed to report. So, and it wasn't in a format I could access. That's a secondary issue. It's almost 2022 and you're dealing with someone who's blind. Is there any way I can get these things via email? Or if not via email, is there any way that that would take longer too, but is there any way it could be brailled? Email's faster, but email stuff gets into a spam folder if it gets emailed. But I can get into the habit of checking the spam folder and filtering out the things that the email provider thinks is spam but really isn't. But I mean, if there's any way to get these through email, I want to start getting them through email. If it's not, then I don't know what to tell you guys, but this did not show up in the mail in a timely manner. It's just been a long day, and I'm like kind of tired, and I just don't want to deal with it right now. And the police are not going to show up at my door saying you're under arrest for not freaking showing up for jury duty. I mean, that's not going to happen. This is the first time anything like this has happened, and I mean, that's not going to happen. Even if I do live in a hard-ass state, I'll end up facing a fine. I'll live with it. But that's not even going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to call them. I'm going to say, hey, this happened. They're going to be like, well, we understand. Just show up next time. And I'll say, yeah, of course. As soon as I get the notification, hopefully it comes before the time that I'm actually supposed to show up. And, of course, I'll respond to that then. Of course, what I'll really do is request an excuse, and if I can't get an excuse, then okay, yeah, I'll find a way to get there and show up. Probably only to be told at the pooling situation, yeah, you don't have to show up for a trial, especially if there's a bunch of pictures and like videos that you have to pay more attention to what things look like than what is said, and et cetera, for evidence. Yeah. Unless it's literally a trial where people are, your word is what matters. I don't know that I'd even be the kind of juror that the system would need, but that's not my decision to make, but it is my decision to make whether to worry about this now or deal with it on Friday when I'm, like, not tired. What a breath of fresh air. It's Wednesday. I'm actually at work. But I just got an email that said, it was from the county courthouse. It was from an individual at the county courthouse that said, thank you for your thoughtful email. You're excused from your summons. And just rest assured that there's not going to be any consequences for not responding in a timely manner. So that's the resolution that I feel like I needed. They also said, unfortunately, we're not able to braille summons at this point. And I believe it. Braille is difficult to produce. But if they can't produce braille, then can they at least send it through email? I mean, my goal is between now and the next time I'm summoned, which I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully it won't be for several years. Hopefully I can figure out how to get it emailed. And if I can't get it emailed, fine, I'll keep enlisting Aira or some sighted person to, like, read the mail to me, but still, it's like, It's almost 2022. Why is there not a paperless option? I think there is. I'm not ready to let go of the idea that there is, and I just don't know how to get to it yet. Actually, I might already have arranged that. We'll know when I either get my next summons in the mail or via email. But I just got a couple of other emails. By the way, in case anyone's wondering, I'm recording with my phone because, the voice memos app, I think it's underrated by me. I don't use it nearly as often as I could. But it's definitely there, and it makes a good recording. Just listen to me. Anyway, I've since gotten a couple of emails from, official emails from the court saying that my status is such that my duty is complete. So, if it's complete to them, it's complete to me. That was stressful. But I'm glad it's over. And on that note, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog. Thank you for watching / listening. I know you're mostly listening, but that's just the way my vlogs are. Check out Aira if you want or need visual interpretation. Check out Shipped if you just don't feel like going to the grocery store and you need groceries. They'll deliver your groceries. They're awesome, especially if you... I should do a video one day about my secrets to dealing with Shipped. They're not secrets really, but... yeah, check out Aira, check out Shipped, and you'll hear from me in the next video. Bye.